New details on the flooding in the Robert Bell building on campus. Tonight, a reaction from a professor in the building and when officials say it will reopen.
And the California wildfires are showing no signs of stopping. Ahead, we have the latest on the natural disaster and its victims.
And we're checking snow showers moving through the area and cold temperatures on the way. I'll break it all down in the full forecast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brenton Roy.
And I'm Emma Burris. Thanks for being with us.
One Ball State building is currently closed with crews working to offset flood damages in time for classes tomorrow.
NewsLink Indiana's Jeremy Masukovich is live in the newsroom with the latest from the Robert Bell building.
All right, thanks, guys. It was around 2 p.m. today when the southeast side of Robert Bell started flooding. What started as a routine annual inspection of the pipes turned into a water main break that sent water flooding down all 4 floors of the building. Ball State made the call to cancel classes in Robert Bell for the remainder of the day and close down the building. Professors scrambled in an attempt to save important documents and possessions they had stored in their offices. Steve Schuler of Information Technology Services was lucky enough to have his office spared by the damages.
I think we're okay. We're on the dry side of the building, so I don't think we're going to be really affected. It has affected some of the way people are working right now. Some people evacuated the building and didn't get back in, so I was one of the lucky ones. I was actually able to get back in and finish up my work for the day. I was just leaving like normal.
All right. University police are keeping Robert Bell secured until it is safe for re-entry. In Muncie, Jeremy Masukovich, NewsLink Indiana.
Ball State faculty and staff are hoping to have classrooms ready by tomorrow morning.
As for the Robert Bell testing lab, students can now take tests in Bracken Library from 8 until midnight.
Tomorrow, Muncie Community Schools may decide on rules for the 17 free metal detectors they were given over the summer from Governor Eric Holcomb.
NewsLink Indiana's Michelle Kaufman looked at another Muncie Schools policy for the devices.
In order for Muncie Community Schools to use the metal detectors, the school board must approve a policy.
We have the wands, and quite frankly, this is another step in our effort to maintain safe schools. The metal detectors will be used strictly to identify weapons.
The proposed rules say the metal detectors would only be used in cases of probable cause, and the guidelines will be shared with parents. Burris Laboratory School has 2 metal detectors from the state program. Principal Dawn Miller says having a safe school is paramount, and they have a policy in place.
It may not be a tool that we use often. We would only use it with purpose. We aren't looking to use it randomly. It would be a very unusual situation for us to decide to use it, but we're glad we have that tool in our toolbox.
Miller said the metal detectors have not been used yet, and their policy sits on reasonable suspicion.
If we've received a tip, if we have had a teacher see something that looked suspicious, if we have reasonable suspicion, we would use the metal detector for that student.
Miller said the detectors may also be used at large events like prom, but not on every student. In Muncie, Michelle Kaufman, NewsLink Indiana.
The school board will meet tomorrow night at 6:30 in the Muncie Area Career Center. We will bring you the latest on the metal detector decision beginning tomorrow night at 9. Well, tonight we have Chief Weather Forecaster Joe Struess joining us. Joe, what's coming up for us in weather?
Well, hey, good evening, guys. We are tracking snow showers moving through the viewing area tonight. Here on our high-res radar, you can see snow showers affecting our northernmost counties, Grant, Blackford, and Jay. You've seen the snow showers so far this evening. Areas further to the north, you've seen the majority of the snow showers, and you will continue to see those through the hours tonight. I don't think we'll see major accumulations with this. Could see some slick spots out there tonight into tomorrow morning. The other big weather story is it has been cold. The average high temperature for this time of the year, 53 degrees. But when you take the last 12 days of November and average out their high temperatures, we're only at 48.4 degrees. So we've been cold for the start of November. The bad news for those of you that don't like the cold, it's going to stay. We're only going to average out our high temperatures for the next 5 days at 37 degrees. So the cold weather is here to stay, and we have snow on the way. We'll break down all of that and the timing of the snow in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Joe. A local business has a different form of adoption, and it could even have your name on it. NewsLink Indiana's Camille Breck has the story on how a local business is restoring history with the help of the Muncie community.
If you can't adopt a pet, why not adopt a map?
It was actually really hard to select the map that I wanted because I loved them all.
Heather Williams, who works at Ball State, adopted a map to give as a gift to her husband.
Glennie lived in New York for a little while, so I got this really neat 1920s speakeasy map of Harlem.
When you adopt a map from Muncie Map Company, your name appears at the bottom because you paid for the restoration of the map.
I was actually really surprised that my name would be on it. I had no idea, so that was kind of exciting.
Andy Shears, who is the owner of Muncie Map Company, repaired Williams's historical map.
Honestly, it's not as hard as a lot of people would think it is.
Although Williams already adopted one map, there are still plenty more up for adoption.
We have about 150 more that are up for adoption.
Williams is just one of many. She loves that her historical map is a piece of history.
It's so awesome, to have that tangible piece of history, that you can hold, that you can hang on your wall, and that, I can be a fan of forever.
Although Williams's map isn't in the frame and on the wall yet, she said she'll have it done by the end of the year. In Muncie, Camille Breck, NewsLink, Indiana.
If you want to browse through the maps up for adoption, visit the Muncie Map Company in their store in downtown Muncie at 111 East Adams Street.
It's been less than a week since the midterm election, but potential future candidates spent Saturday learning about what it takes to run for office. The candidates of the Future event featured information about how to become a candidate, information from state officials, fundraising, what to expect in office, and some Muncie initiatives. 4 people who participated in last year's event ran this year, and 2 were elected. Ball State's Bowen Center for Public Affairs and Schaefer Leadership Academy were 2 of the sponsors.
I would say that the biggest takeaway has been the push on community involvement, which obviously you're going to need that for local elections, but that's going to be your base. But it's just being involved, to help the community, not just to further your political views.
When we think about leadership and all the ways that people can lead in our community, local office is one of the best opportunities to lead and make an impact.
Voters in 2020 will decide several races, including Indiana's governor and the President of the United States.
We'll have the latest on the California wildfires, what's happening and how it's affecting the state coming up.
And we have the details on the race for the Florida governor, why the race is important, and why it still hasn't been decided.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, she seems fine to me.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was drunk.
No more, he was drunk.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, why didn't she tell anyone? No more, we don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Welcome back. Wildfires are continuing to ravage California. At least 31 people are dead and more than 100 are missing. Karen Kafa reports from Malibu.
A grim warning from the CAL FIRE unit chief as they enter their second week of fighting.
It's not over yet.
To the north and to the south. 3 fires continue to scorch across the Golden State. Powerful winds on Sunday threatened any progress firefighters made over the weekend. The governor says climate change is contributing to these extreme conditions.
But managing all the forests in every way we can does not stop climate change. And those who deny that are definitely contributing to the tragedies that we're now witnessing and will continue to witness in the coming years. So the chickens are coming home to roost. This is real here.
In Southern California, several celebrities were among those impacted, including Gerard Butler, who shared this photo of his burnt out home. And amidst tragedy in Northern California, heroes emerge.
There was no way I was going to leave them. I did just what anybody else would have done.
Jacob Jones took the time to pick up neighbors and their children as he made his escape.
It was terrifying. I couldn't let the kids see that it was terrifying. We all tried to kind of keep it together because we didn't want the kids to lose their cool.
Our thoughts are with those in California. President Trump has approved a major disaster declaration for the state of California in the wake of the deadly wildfires.
New today, co-creator of Marvel Comics Stan Lee has died. His daughter's attorneys say Lee had died in a Los Angeles hospital this morning. He was taken there from his home by ambulance. The cause of his death is unknown at this time. Lee became Marvel's editorial director and publisher in 1972. He helped create numerous iconic superheroes, including Spider-Man, Iron Man, and the X-Men. Lee was also known for making cameo appearances in all of the Marvel movies. Stan Lee was 95 years old.
Palm Beach County is now expected to finish a machine ballot recount in the Senate race by Thursday's deadline. Unofficial county results have Republican Governor Rick Scott leading incumbent Democratic Senator Bill Nelson by more than 12,500 votes. That's about 0.15%. Election Supervisor Susan Booker says teams are working night and day recounting Senate votes. However, she says that the machines are old and can only recount one race at a time. That means 3 other close elections, including the governor's race, will have to be recounted later.
Well, the way that they have been working overnight, I didn't anticipate that everybody would be able to get through all of those ballots, and they've been extremely successful. So what changed is that we have a really hard-working team, and they're doing the very best they can. We had our machines maintenance, and everything is working very well, and we're working around the clock.
Officials say that the 3 other close races in the county could take up to 3 weeks to recount.
More than 6,000 migrants are heading towards the United States. They left a temporary shelter in Mexico City this weekend. The group is meeting up with more migrants. Then they plan to head towards Tijuana, a city close to the U.S. border. This trip is expected to take over 2 weeks. According to the owner of the migrant shelter in Tijuana, shelters in the surrounding area are 80% full. They are trying to work with the government officials to find a location for more migrants when they arrive.
The stock market took a hit today before the final bell. Apple led the way with a massive tech sell-off. The Dow dropped over 600 points and the Nasdaq lost nearly 3%. Other companies suffered major setbacks as well. Goldman Sachs had its worst single-day drop in 7 years, tumbling 7.5%. General Electric also dropped by over 7% and fell below $8 per stock for the first time since 2009. Joe, you mentioned earlier that we're going to get some snow in the forecast. When can you tell us when's it going to hit us?
Well, it's right on our doorstep. We have snowflakes in the forecast tonight. There's your hour-by-hour look. We drop into the low 30s tonight. We'll break it all down after the break.
For those who serve today, and those who served before them. For those whose sacrifice will never end. The Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back. So, Joe, are we going to have any more snow for the people to hold over before the holiday season?
Yeah, there's snow on our doorstep right now. We've already seen some flakes fly actually in our northernmost counties, and it feels pretty cool out there. So, already feeling a little bit more like the holiday season here in East Central Indiana. Here's a look at your regional radar. Shield of snowflakes starting to push in to Northeast Indiana, actually very much overtaking the state now. We'll turn it over to our high-res radar and see where the snowflakes are currently falling. Grant, Blackford, and Jay, you've seen the snowfall for the last hour or so. Starting to see some snow showers forming to the south. Notice areas south towards I-70, though, you are not seeing too much in terms of the snow showers thus far, and that will be kind of the trend through the overnight hours. Here's a look on PrecisionCast at midnight. Some showers forming. I do think we'll see another band or two of snow showers to come through. Again, I do think the heaviest area, or the area that will see the most snow showers, will be basically north of Delaware County. I think we clear out as we head towards daybreak tomorrow, but we could certainly see a slick spot or two out there for your Tuesday morning commute. How much snow falls? Not too much. Here's a look at what we're thinking. Again, here's I-70. I think the majority of any snow that does fall and sticks will be north of I-70, with the greater chance of seeing snowfall up to the north. Again, Grant, Blackford, Jay, you are the most likely to see anywhere from about a ½ inch to an inch of snow, which again could lead to some slick spots out there. It is winter weather preparedness week, so let's just break down a couple thoughts here. If you're traveling, you always want to bundle up in case you do have car trouble. Remember to drive slow heading out on the roads. Tomorrow will be a good example for that. And you always just want to keep a first aid kit handy in case something does happen. Back to where we're at now, though. Current conditions right now pretty cool. 37 degrees in the Circle City, 32 in Lafayette, 34 up in Kokomo, still in the upper 30s down to the south. That said, grab the jacket if heading out tonight and just please drive cautiously out there. Again, we'll see snow showers through the overnight hours tonight, 29 degrees for the low temperature. That's due to those winds, which will continue to bring cooler air into place, only keeping us in the mid-30s for your high temperature tomorrow. 34 degrees will be mostly cloudy for your Tuesday. Again, rather breezy out there. And if you're heading out to Schumann Stadium tomorrow night, 32 degrees at kickoff against Western Michigan. We should stay dry. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock. Let's go Cardinals, hopefully bringing home another win late in the MAC season. The rest of the 7-day, very much below average. 37 degrees on Wednesday, 38 on Thursday, where we're watching another disturbance, which could bring a wintry mix into the area. I think it will likely bring some precip. Still trying to line up the details on exactly if it'll be rain, snow, or even sleet. Drier, though, for Friday, 40 degrees. Not a bad day. Should be the warmest in the next 7. And then another system slides in for Saturday, which could bring some rain showers to the area. Sunday, another blast of cool air, and then we should be dry to start next week. So the big thing is just remember to take it slow on the road tonight and early tomorrow. It should be a little slick out there, but I don't think the accumulations will be too much just yet.
Thank you, Joe. We're definitely looking forward to that little bit of snow, getting in the holiday spirit.
Absolutely.
So, Rachel, what's coming up in sports?
We're going to talk about a few Ball State teams, and we're going to look at how they're doing so far this season, all coming up after the break.
Isn't this perfect?
It was my pleasure. May I?
Adam, I can't thank you enough for saving me from that sweepstakes scam. I could have lost everything.
It was a classic cat and mouse game. Remember, you never have to pay to play.
You're my hero. After all these years. What's the matter, Adam? Cat got your tongue?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back. I'm Rachel Berry with sports. The Ball State football team is looking to pick up their third conference win tomorrow night during their final home game of the season against Western Michigan. It may be a tall order for the Cardinals as they have not won a game against Western Michigan since 2013. Both teams are looking to end their current losing streaks, and the Cardinals have lost their last three games, but have had the last 2 weeks off to prepare for tomorrow's game. Redshirt junior quarterback Riley Neal will sit out another week due to an injury, and redshirt sophomore Drew Plitt will start in his place. 9 seniors will also be honored tomorrow evening before the game, and the game will kick off at 6:05 at Schumann Stadium and will also air nationally on ESPN2. For the third game in a row, Ball State men's basketball took on an in-state opponent. The Cardinals headed to West Lafayette this past Saturday to take on 24th ranked Purdue. The Cardinals and Boilers went back and forth, trading the lead in the first half, with Purdue taking a 1-point lead into halftime. It was a 19-2 run in the second half, in which put the game out of reach for Ball State, as they fell to Purdue 84-75. Taylor Persons led the Cardinals, scoring 19 points and 8 rebounds and 2 assists. While Coach James Whitford is disappointed with the loss, there are many positives that Ball State can take away from this game.
A lot of good things. We defended them very well in the half court, did a very good job on an All-American, defended the three really well. And but we watched the film today, and we recognized the things we did well that were real positive for us, and certainly improve on the mistakes that we made.
Purdue out-rebounded Ball State 40-29. Taylor Persons says that rebounding the ball better is going to be key for the Cardinals in their upcoming games.
Really dominate the glass, especially with these next couple games. We got some really athletic teams we're going to be playing and stuff. So, and then when we get in a conference, that's going to be one of the biggest things to help us win. So, just crashing the glass hard and be physical.
Ball State takes on 16th ranked Virginia Tech this Thursday at 11:30. The game is in Charleston, South Carolina, as part of Ball State's 3 games in the Charleston Classic. The women's team struggled against Purdue last week, but had a chance Sunday to rebound. They hosted the Cleveland State Vikings in their second game of the season. With a young team, the Cardinals looked to senior guard Jasmine Sams to lead the way. Sams had it going from the start, hitting some early long-range jumpers to keep the game close. Ball State was down heading into the fourth quarter, but the Cardinals never quit. After being down by 8 halfway through the fourth, the Cardinals fought their way back within 2. Sam's three-pointer with a minute and a half ended up being the game-winning bucket, as the Cardinals went on to win the game 67-62. Sams and her team get a bit of a break until their next game against Missouri State on Saturday. And how about our Colts? I can't believe it, 3 consecutive wins. And at the beginning of the season, I wasn't exactly sure if they could pull that off, but I'm proud of them, and Luck looks like he's getting a little bit better each game, so hopefully they can pull off their 4th win this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah, I definitely caught a little bit of that game. Luck is looking pretty good. I mean, just cross our fingers he just doesn't get hurt again.
I'm surprised, but I'm also excited too.
Thank you, Rachel.
For sure.
Well, one singer is a generous man with some money in his pocket. Find out what he's giving next.
And there will be a new toy on the shelf next summer. We'll tell you what movie franchise is coming back. Ahead in Trending.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back. Time now to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Michelle Coffin. Welcome, Michelle. What do you have for us?
Good evening. So we all know that Bruno Mars has 24 karat magic, and he's using some of it for a good cause. Mars is teaming up with the Salvation Army for its 48th annual Thanksgiving dinner meal program. He'll provide 24,000 Thanksgiving meals to benefit those in need in his native state of Hawaii. Mars celebrated his 24 karat magic world tour landing in Hawaii over the weekend. He shared a photo of himself as a kid holding a microphone on Instagram with the caption reading in part, "I can't wait to perform and sing on the island I call home." And a popular children's movie will soon have another story. Disney and Pixar released the first trailer today to Toy Story 4. The dreamy teaser features everyone's favorite toys floating through the air. We see for the first time the newest member of the group, Forky. The makeshift toy panics and sends the other toys spinning, literally. Let's take a listen.
It's close illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds.
I don't belong here!
Toy Story 4 supposedly follows the group as their owner adds Forky, who you just saw, to the mix. And the movie is set to be released in June. And guys, I've seen all the other 3, so I can't wait to go see the 4th one.
I for sure been watching all the movies ever since I was little, and they keep getting better and better.
As long as they don't make me cry. Now, Joe, you might make me cry. What's the last look at weather look like?
We got snowfall moving in tonight. Here's a look at what we're expecting in terms of accumulations. I think the areas to the north could see about a ½ inch to an inch. Just some slick spots out there tomorrow. The rest of the week, well below average. Keep an eye on Thursday. Could see some more wintry precipitation around.
Thank you, Joe. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to theballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.
been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.